What I'm going to do now is to make an assist support just for the decking part of the bridge. It's going to span just across there. It's 70mm in width. You can see just that bit there. I'm going to cut 3 slots out. One for that side, and one in the middle, the main strut that's going to help support the deck itself. Okay, you'll see what I mean when I make it. So it's going to be around about 45mm in depth, slot just there, 45mm in depth just there, and 45mm in depth just there. That will sit underneath where the decking fits, just on there, and I'll also screw it to this decking just there. There we are, that one's in place, ready for the centre strengthening beam. I've also done one on the side of the tea house, as you can see, and this one's fitted in nicely just over where the decking will fit, just there, and similarly on the other side. So that will also help to strengthen with the weight as people walk on top of the bridge. So all I need to do now is just put the centre strengthening beam down into position, and there you go, that's it. And by the time all the decking is down, that should keep everything secure and in place. I'm in the process of cutting the decking boards to size. I've already put 3 in place, one at the far end of the bridge, one in the centre, and one at the start of the tea house. With that in mind, I'm just going to cut the rest of them to size. So I've pre-drilled all the boards and just ensure that they don't split right at the end. I've screwed most of them down, as you can see, with the exception of the central rail. I'm now going to put the 2 end vertical posts in at the end of the bridge. I'm just going to do it by sight. And what I mean by that, I'm just going to loop down the first post on the tea house and ensure everything lines up. I'm going to use a piece of string as well, just to make sure everything lines up properly, but that's how I'm going to get them in line. So there you go, that's pretty much in line and vertical. That's quite true. All the way down. There you go, that'll do. Okay then, so the next thing is we'll do the right hand post and we'll go from there. So the next stage is just to help the strength of this beam here, the main beam on the bridge. And what I've done, I've just put a little section just down, screwed that to this cross beam here. Exactly the same, smaller ones just at the side of the posts, one there and one on the on my right hand side. I'll then put this beam just straight in there, and there's a screw that on top, and that will screw on the top of there and on the side of this post. Even if there's a little bit of flex in this beam, some of the weight will be taken on here. Well, there we are. So that's the bottom section done anyway. So I'll just be finishing it off similar to the main decking, with that top rail and obviously the intermediate rail just there. So that'll be done in the next couple of days. But to give you a better view of the bridge and how it's proceeding, there you go. So the main beam there, this section, obviously that beam there, and then the post are all tied in. That'll have the effect of strengthening the main beam here. So that can't flex any because that's tied into it, and that's tied in, and that's tied in. Similarly, the central post is identical, everything's tied in there. Same with this one. Main beam's tied into that, that's tied into that, and that's tied into that. So that should have the effect of absolutely stabilising and strengthening this main beam. The bridge still flexes a bit with a couple of people on it, but then it's wood, so you'd expect it to creak a little bit. But it's very, very stable. I can feel that. It feels solid when I work on it. And that's all that matters. To fit the central cross rail on the bridge itself, I'm using the same process as I did for the main decking. As I hope you can see there, I just put little square blocks of wood in, screw them to the post with some wood glue, and that holds them up. So that's what I'm doing here. As you can see, just little blocks of 25 by 50. That's all they are. I've cleaned them up. Drilled 2 holes in there to stop the blocks themselves splitting. Lots of wood glue between the post and the block itself, and then screw them into place. Be careful not to put too much pressure on, otherwise, because they're only 25mm deep, there's a danger of that wood block splitting. That's sufficient. That's nice and tight, and by the time the wood glue is set, that'll be more than strong enough to support the central rail. So I'm just going to route out that square, which will fit one of these little blocks in there. So in this case it's about 25mm deep by 50mm width. I'm going to go down in 5mm depths in a total of 25mm. So just as the decking, lots of glue on the outside of here, and I'll just put this central rail into position. Okay, one screw either end. I'll put stainless in there, stainless steel screws. One up there, and one up there, and that'll be secure into place. That's going nowhere. Just tap them right down. That's flush. And that's flush. Now screw them up. And that's that. That's the bridge pretty much done. Job done.